welcome to Intro Skippers, the now multinational podcast about the entertainment that we love and we think you'll love too. I am Kim. I am an entertainment journalist, and I am joined by a real-life entertainer on tour, and that is Jason
Hi.
Charles Miller.
That is me. I am coming to you live from my hotel room in London. Woo!
Ooh, I've never been to London. Look at you.
Really?
Never.
I don't know.
I've been to Europe, but I didn't go to the UK at all.
Okay. I recommend
it. The British Kingdom. I don't know what it's called now post-Brexit. I'd like to visit one day, but at the time I went to Amsterdam for work, and then I went to Belgium and France for fun.
Cool.
And that's all I could afford at the time.
Were you covering something in Amsterdam?
Yeah, I was working for TwitchCon. So I don't know if I've mentioned this on pod, but I very briefly worked for Twitch proper, like Twitch corporate. Right. And I was working for TwitchCon Amsterdam, and I really didn't like it. And we parted ways.
Hey, it's not for everyone, right?
No, I'm really not that kind of producer, to be honest. Because I was doing like stage setups, and I had to rent some props and costumes from a Dutch company. And I was like, what? How do I do this? And like everybody was like, obviously we all know how to do this. And I was like, no one told me about this in the hiring process. I'm not this kind of producer.
They're like, figure it out.
Pretty much. And I just reached out to some Dutch employees, and I was like, what do I do? And they're like, okay, we'll help you. But I don't think that ingratiated me to anyone. I don't think it was a good fit. But I did go to good old Amsterdam, and I did get COVID. So there's that.
Yeah, batting 1,000.
It is killing it.
It's extremely cold over here right now. It's so cold that two of the Swedish musicians that I'm currently touring with are like, damn, it's cold. So
you are from Scandinavia.
I know. They're like, yeah, but for some reason it's colder here right now. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Maybe it's really like cold. San Francisco, where people expect it'll be warmer and then it's cold. So it's just the expectations at play.
Yeah, and it's been really windy, and I think that's definitely a factor.
Yeah, that'll make it feel
like San
colder.
Francisco.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whenever the weather comes up as it's actually 60 degrees, but it feels like 52 because of the wind. So, yeah, it's raining a lot at home right now. We've been having thunderstorms, but I'm sure it's colder where you are.
I've been hearing about that. And so we've had snow and rain where I am, but I hear it's been raining practically every day for like a week.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to stop after today, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then come back next weekend.
I knew it was coming, and so right before I left for the tour, I made sure that all my gutters were clean, which I was up on a ladder. I was grabbing, leaves and just getting rid of them and making sure that those gutters were clear.
Look at that responsible homeowner. I did nothing of the sort. I will not, and I refuse to clean the gutters.
But you know what I did to make sure that we were up to date is I watched Pluribus.
Did you watch episode 4?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so good.
Yay! Okay, so I gotta say, I was like, Jason was suggesting shows, and I was like, and he went Pluribus, and I went, fine, like a brat. And then I watched it, and I think it's my favorite show now. I love this show. It's so good. Really, I mean, great. I kind of, to be honest, I never really got into the Vince Gilligan verse. Okay. I stopped watching Breaking Bad partway through because I binged it and it was too stressful. And I've been told that's not the way to watch Breaking Bad. But
it's very stressful.
Yeah, I started like having heart palpitations, and I was like, why am I freaking out? And it's because the show is so stressful. But this show is so much more my genre. This is such a show that encourages thought and participation, which I love. It is an apocalypse show that features no zombies. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Should we get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let me do a brief breakdown about what this show is
Okay.
about.
Oh wait,
If you haven't.
before though, just talking about the Gilligan verse,
Yeah, yeah.
did you watch any Better Call Saul?
No, because it's a
Wow.
spinoff of Breaking Bad, which I didn't
Okay.
finish. So I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to one. Though maybe I should because I love Ray Seahorn.
Yeah.
She's
It's
amazing.
it's one of my favorite shows. Rhea Seehorn shines in this show.
Mm-hmm.
In Breaking Bad, and it's a different vibe because it's not always as intense as Breaking Bad was. So I would say give Better Call Saul a try if you like Pluribus. I mean, same creator, right?
I know, but it's such a different genre. And I would say sci-fi apocalypse is so much more my bag than Crime Lord Descends into Darkness
Or Lawyer
or
Descends.
Lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, my dad is a lawyer, so I don't know, maybe it is my bag. Well,
Yeah.
Pluribus
Yeah.
is a sci-fi psychological thriller on Apple TV Plus, created by Vince Gilligan. He apparently got the idea while shooting not Breaking Bad. Yeah, Breaking Bad. No, the second one. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
The
Okay.
other one. When he was walking around and he thought, what would it be like if everyone just started just really catering to this one person's interests? And he said originally the main character was envisioned as a man, but it got too porny. So that's why Carol is a woman, I guess, or one of the reasons.
Yeah.
This show is set, I guess, in present time or maybe slightly in the future. It stars Ray Seahorn as Carol Sturka, a novelist who is immune to a global phenomenon called the joining. It opens up when astronomers are detecting a strange radio frequency from space, and it turns out to be the encoding of an RNA sequence. So obviously what they do is they don't ask any questions and they replicate the sequence in a lab, and then they inject it into a rat, and then the rat bites somebody, then a human gets it, and then the human starts kissing other humans and licking donuts and spreading the disease.
The ultimate kissing disease.
Yeah, I don't know. Mono might still want that. I mean, it's
Okay.
all Mono has, okay, at this point.
Not in the
But
Gilligan
pretty
verse.
much everyone who's been affected by this, let's call it a virus. I don't know what exactly to call it. It's almost everyone in the world except for 13 people.
Yeah.
And they all sort of join a hive mind. And it's very unsettling.
Completely. They don't even refer to themselves as individuals anymore. They say, like, this individual was blah, blah, blah.
This individual was the Undersecretary of Agriculture. And well, you see, he was wearing a suit and he was around.
Mm-hmm. That actor was great, by the way. He was like the
I love
perfect
him.
casting. The perfect
A lot of
casting.
the actors are great. The DHL guy is great. The cyclist in episode 4, great. Zosha is great. So pretty much Carol is one of the few people who is immune. And she is a pretty misanthropic novelist. She writes what appears to be romantasy novels. And she seems like curmudgeonly and a little bit down on herself and like cranky. And she has a partner named Helen. Well, I think Helen is her wife, actually. And Helen is also her manager. And Helen is a nice person who loves life and loves to live and is always encouraging and understands Carol and, you know, loves her and cares about her and makes you see her as someone who isn't a jerk, basically, someone who is lovable.
Yeah.
And as soon as, so she's one of the people, Helen is one of the people who is killed in the joining, which is the transfer between being an individual and being collective.
Right. There's thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that actually die. They don't make it through the journey.
Millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
And so, yeah, Helen's one of them. And I was kind of bummed because I thought that she did a really good job. And I was hoping, I was like, oh, well, she died, so we're not going to see her anymore. But we're seeing flashbacks to their former life. So I am glad that we still get to see that actress be Helen and embody Helen and give us more
I think they
insight
have a
into
really
Carol.
good chemistry. And I would say the show is a slow burn, but I find it so interesting to just see who Carol is. I mean, Carol was pretty closeted. She didn't want anyone to know who, that she was married to a woman, that she maybe based one of the popular characters from her novel on a woman initially. And now, with the world in a hive mind, everyone knows her secret. What does that imply for her?
Right. And even in episode 4, I'm jumping ahead, but when she learned some things about her career and how people thought about her books and how Helen thought about her books, that was rather interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the show just begs questions, right? Because I'm always
Big
wondering,
time.
what is the hive mind doing when they're not with Carol? Did they take all the useful parts in the world and collect them somewhere? Where is that? Where do they sleep? What do they eat? How do they view reproduction? Um, do they talk when Carol is in and around? I would say no, which would be really boring. And well, let me get there. I'm
Sure.
going to briefly describe the rest of the episodes that we saw until we get to
Yeah.
episode 4, which is the one that came out just today. By the way, we are shooting this on Friday because we really wanted to see episode 4. Nothing to do with Jason being on a different continent. It's fine.
Yeah. Nothing to do with our van not starting last night at a
Oh
rest stop.
no. I'm sorry.
It started eventually.
Well, you're here.
Yep.
So Carol is just mourning Helen. She loved her. She's gone. She was her person. She's basically alone in the world without her. And she wants to bury Carol. She wants to bury Helen. She is Carol. And she meets other people who are immune because she pretty much asks for a world summit, which involves Air Force One. This one guy who was immune decided he was going to surround himself with hot babes who he probably has sex with all the time, even though they are collective. And pretty much one of them, they're all his mother, his grandmother, his dad.
Right.
That's so weird to me.
That. I was like, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it because I would feel like I was under, watch from 1,000 cameras.
You are, but it's millions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so scary to be laid bare like that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how Carol must feel all the time.
But that guy, I can't remember the character's name, and I'm pretty sure he was French.
No, he wasn't French.
Oh,
he was from West Africa.
Oh, that's
but a company that's not a country that speaks French,
or a company. No,
if you think about it,
right? And that's a whole nother question. But yeah, so he had a French accent. I guess that was what was making me think of that. But yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that's a nod to the initial draft of how it could have been with a man being the lead character,
because it was porny.
Yeah, very much
so she meets the other people who are immune, and they're all from different countries, but they have their families for the most part, or they have people around them. And she's like, all right, let's get together. How are we going to stop this? And they're like, stop this? Why would we stop this? Our family is here and they're part of it. I don't want to stop them. And some of them are like, I even want to join them. I want to be with them. I want to be happy all the time too. Because we didn't mention the hive mind is endlessly happy and positive. They describe their existence as blissful. I guess they've shed all the messy parts of being human, but are they human anymore? Because they make some. There's what's part of the show that's great is it's funny too. So there's a ticker tape on the TV in the first episode when Carol is talking to it that says, "We are not aliens," and I don't think they're human though, because humans are messy, and humans. What defines humanity, I guess, is the question here. And we usually ask that question with alien invasion or robotics or AI gone amok. But this is a slightly different flavor of that, which I'm really enjoying.
Well, it makes me wonder, too, is hive mind what we are eventually evolving to? Like, is that what someone's idea of perfection as for humanity is? I don't know. I was thinking about that too. Like the faster we learn information and the faster we can and process it and absorb it. Is that where we're all going to end up being?
I mean, the hive mind would argue yes, but I hate it. It makes me so uncomfortable. Though I actually talked to someone about this and they said that's a very American point of view. And I thought, well, Carol is American and she's the primary one who is rebelling against this. So I wonder, do you feel differently if one, you're not as individualistic as an American tends to be, which I guess I'm part of, and two, if you have loved ones in the hive mind, does that change things? Because Carol is alone and she is American. Carol's also a bit of an asshole, but she's, in my opinion, almost always right.
Yeah.
And it disturbs me. Like, does that mean I'm an asshole?
She's a justified asshole. Like her whatever kind of saltiness that she puts out there, it's pretty justified.
I agree. And like she tries things. And I think she tends to be really smart in what she's trying. When she's trying to reach out to all these people who are also like her individuals, but not like her, open to the hive mind or even interested in the hive mind. I think Carol is right. I think we lose so much in this joining. Like, sure, you're all happy all the time, but isn't being a human being a little bit messy? Furthermore, you may look at Carol and think she's not our best and brightest. She's not the exemplary human who should be an individual, but I think she is, because she is fighting so hard against it. She's unhappy. People are unhappy. She's messy. People are messy. And what's more, Carol is an author. She's an artist. What room is there for art in a world like this?
Do you think that maybe it's a commentary on AI?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of people actually think that. I've been poking around on Reddit and different internet sources, and it largely can be viewed that way. But I think it's kind of the thing where you can imprint whatever you like on it. AI is something that's very troubling and definitely a big question mark still. But I mean, I've actually already come out as saying I'm very skeptical of AI, even though I'm on another tech podcast. And I think that's a valid position to have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if you're on a tech podcast, you've got to talk about AI because
we have to. It's unavoidable.
It's on the lips of everyone who's involved in tech. But you can still be skeptical of it, and you can still discuss it in a way that's not like, yay, AI is awesome. I'm just going to use this for everything now. And then you should too.
I just hate the idea of outsourcing critical thought. I think we're already at a point where we're encouraged to use less critical thought and to outsource that thinking to whatever and accept easy answers. And I think that's wrong. Answers are rarely easy. Answers are rarely black and white. There's no rule that blanket covers anything. You do have to use your damn brain. So when I see the collective hive mind, it makes me so uncomfortable every time, especially when they're talking to Carol and they're like, "Hey, Carol, how are you? How's it going? Do you feel better?
Can I have a hand grenade?"
Are you sure?
Yep.
That's a good
idea.
I
really want one.
Okay. Well, hand grenades, if you really want one, you can have them, but I must tell you how harmful this might be. Have you noticed the hive mind is pretty condescending? They talk to Carol like she's a bad child.
That's very true.
So the thing is, they say they cannot force her to join. That she isn't, her will is her own. Her life is her own. But they also won't be violent. They won't lie. In tandem with, they're telling her to her face, we're trying to find a way to get you to join our hive mind collective, which is, I think, an act of aggression in itself, even though they're saying, we're not aggressive, we're not violent, we won't force you.
Your life is your own, but in a few months, we're going to figure this out.
What bothers me is there's no consent to this. It just happens. And they act like, oh, we're saving you. It's wonderful. It's great. If you saw someone drowning, wouldn't you help them? But there's zero consent to this. Like, it just happens. It would be like if I addicted someone to drugs and while they're on drugs, I was like, see how happy they are? But what about that person that's not under that cloud? What about them?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how I view it. I'm curious to see other points of view on this, especially people who are not American. But I think that's what's so great about this show is that it inspires so much thought and conversation.
What do you think is going to happen with our new character that we met? I don't even think we've revealed his name yet. But the one that...
Manusos?
Yes.
We have revealed his name.
They did. Okay.
There is one because Carol asks to meet the English speakers in her council of how to stop this that no one really agrees with her on. There is one man who is very resistant. He's a man in Paraguay, and he works at a self-storage center, and he only speaks Spanish. So Carol tries to contact him earlier on aboard Air Force One, and she says like, "Hola, mi amo, Carol Sturka,"
Slam.
And then she calls back and she tries to talk to him again. And he goes like, "Leave me alone. You suck." He says pretty much he's mean to her. And then she calls him back and pretty much just says like, "Chinga tu madre, asshole," And we get the other side of that in episode 4. I've skipped a lot, but this is a good bridge. And then we see that he is like Carol. He does not want to join. He wants nothing to do with the hive mind. He's trying to like search different radio frequencies and see if there's anyone out there. He doesn't know as much as Carol does because he has disconnected himself. He will not talk to the collective. He hates them. But he writes Carol's name down after she's mean to him on the phone as a possibility.
Yeah.
Because the hive mind can't be mean. So he knows that she's an option, but he's just not there yet because he won't interact with the hive mind. Because, Carol, she can hit 0 and anyone will talk to her. Or if she gets in a police car, they'll talk to her on the radio. Like, they always want to talk to Carol and bring her food. Speaking of, there's a great Sprouts scene.
Oh my God. That's so awesome. I love that scene.
Yeah, so
I just want my Sprouts back.
3, I think. She wants the Sprouts. She makes them refill the Sprouts, and it's just different people in, this happened with the plane too, where anyone has all the collective knowledge in the world, and they can do anything. So anyone can fly a plane, anyone can unload a truck, anyone can stock a store, anyone can be a doctor, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So just random people.
Who flew the plane the first time? Someone.
An Applebee's waiter.
Oh, Applebee's.
Or TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays.
Like I don't know. It's probably TGI Fridays. Let's say that. Mm-hmm. And then Carol doesn't like that, so they get someone who's.
They get 2 real pilots to pilot it all the way back.
Even though they're operating off the brain of the world instead of just this pilot's brain and this pilot's brain. But it makes her more comfortable. And I wonder if that's why so many people seem to be in uniform, like the DHL guy. Because it's just like, why wear these? Why are they wearing these clothes?
Well, to me, I felt like it was the last clothes that they were wearing when the joining happened. And then
does that mean they never change or wash?
I mean, look, they revealed a few things to me in episode 2 that made me really think about this, because they were like, we will not kill any animal. So the meals that they're bringing out are meals with meat in them and fish. So these are only things that haven't gone bad yet. So sooner or later, they're going to run out of meat. They're going to run out of fish. They're going to run out of chicken. They're going to run out of anything that hasn't been frozen and can't be prepared. So what happens then?
I guess the individuals, I don't know. I guess they could kill food because the man from West Africa was like, what if I kill a fish? Would you cook it for me? And they were like, yeah. So, but didn't they say that they don't eat meat? So I guess all the meat on Earth is frozen for the individuals?
Yeah. I don't know. So I feel like something weird is going to happen with that.
Eventually. But I think they think they're going to get them to join the hive mind before that point. Mm-hmm. So they probably are fine about it. So Carol makes them do this, makes them fill out purse sprouts because she doesn't want to depend on them to deliver food to her
Right.
all the time.
Right.
And in a way, she's like, I'm an individual. I take care of myself. But in a way, she's making them do all this. And she's not really taking care of herself. But it's not really her fault because they did absorb all the food and I guess are storing it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't talked to her about her a lot. But Zosha is the main person who Carol interacts with.
Right.
And we see this sequence of her getting to where Carol lives in Albuquerque, where she's at first like cleaning bodies somewhere, I think in the Middle East. I can't tell where. And she just gets up, stops cleaning bodies, gets in the car, trades places with the guy who drove the car over, goes to the airport, flies a plane to Albuquerque, I assume. And then there's a glam team to like make her up, give her hair extensions, do her makeup, clean her up, get a better wardrobe. And that is because Zosha is who the hive mind thinks Carol will like, because she is based on one of the main characters of her novel series, who is a romantic lead. Though that lead is written as a man, it was initially based on a woman. So that's, again, Carol, another sign that she sees that they're probing Helen's mind in particular, because Helen joined and then died right away. So they have everything Helen knew. And Helen knew everything. She was her partner. So it's...
Rauban is the name of that character. She keeps
Rauban! And then, yeah. And she calls her the pirate lady for most of this. But her name is Zosha. Or her former life's... individual name was Zosha. And she interacts with her the most. And by episode 4, after, Zosha pretty much saves Carol from the live grenade. Carol assumed they were lying and they didn't give her a live grenade, but they did. Zosha needs to go to the hospital. Zosha is being treated. And then Carol becomes really suspicious of what the others aren't telling her. She makes a list of what she knows for sure about them, which I have written down. They feel everything. They want me to be happy. They like good people and jerks equally. They will try to make me like them / want to change me. They are weirdly honest. She puts a question after, but then she erased it. They can't lie. Right. So that's what she knows, and that's what she uses to try and get through to them. And she decides she's going to do a risky experiment after visiting Zosha at the hospital. And she is going to steal some thiopental sodium, which is a barbiturate, which I looked up while I was watching, and it is often known as truth serum. She wants, because she asked Zosha earlier, is there a way to reverse the joining? And Zosha doesn't answer her because they want to make her happy. They don't want to answer certain questions. Also, they know Carol is against this, even though they're going to absorb her and they're treating her like a certain way, like they're taking care of her. So Carol takes that to mean there is a way to reverse the joining. So she is going to inject Zosha with the serum through her IV drip, but she tests it on herself first, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
So she records herself. She doesn't remember doing it. And then it's hilarious. Ray Seahorn is great. What I love about the show, again, is that it is still funny, even though it has these very thought-provoking, high-minded questions. And then she injects Zosha at the hospital and tries to know if she can reverse the joining. And then the hive mind descends and surrounds them all.
Yeah, that was scary.
It was so scary. And also, this is the first time I've seen the hive mind not smiley at Carol. They look angry at her. And they start crying tears down their face. And she's like, tell me. And they're like, please, Carol. Please, Carol. Please, Carol. It's so unnerving. Yeah. This show hits such a great tone. And then I guess it backfires. Zosha goes into cardiac arrest, and that's where the episode leaves off. But go ahead, Jason. Make your point.
Oh, yeah. No, another thing this show does that a lot of shows don't do anymore is it takes its time. This is not a show to watch while scrolling on your phone. that
No.
so many more shows are, you hear all these stories about, and we've talked about it before on this podcast too, like, oh, we need simpler dialogues because people are looking at their phone when they're watching this show. And thank goodness they let Vince Gilligan cook. Okay. They let him do
They
his
gave him the
thing.
money.
Yeah. You want a 10-minute or 15-minute establishing scene with no dialogue, he'll give it to you. Episode 4 was just like that. When we go to Paraguay and you see the guy working at figuring out, checking radio frequencies, writing different things down. We see the phone calls coming in. He's starving, clearly, but someone brings him a meal every day. He looks at the meal, dumps it, throws it out, but he's starving. So what does he do? He writes a note to all of his customers, and he says, well, of course, yes, he does. I know you're making that face because he licked the tuna, the old tuna
No,
can.
I'm making that face because the food he comes up with is dog food.
Yeah.
And but he eats the dog food.
But he also, like Carol, thinks that they can get out of this, thinks that there's a chance that life could come back to normal. So he writes a note, dear customers, we're so sorry we had to break into your units. You will be compensated. Like, what a great guy,
He's a jerk, but he's a good guy. Much like Carol. I think they should team up.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a good team if they do. And,
do you want to know what the dog food really was that he was eating? It's
sure.
It's a European treat. Haggis. Scottish haggis. That's what it was. So there is an official podcast. It's not really a discussion podcast. It's more of a behind the scenes podcast. Vince Gilligan is in every episode. And that's how I learned that fun fact.
Is there video or is it just all audio?
I believe video exists, but I've been consuming it in audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to jump in on that.
Yeah, I'm having so much fun with this show because it makes me think. I find myself lingering on it when I'm not watching it. And it's been a long time since I've had a show that made me feel that way. And maybe you're onto something here where I have a show that I must pay attention to and not like look at my phone most of the time, which is what I do with many a show. And almost any reality show. Well, I don't watch that many, but I watch some Korean reality shows and I have my phone out almost the entire time. Yeah. I don't know.
Going old school.
It's so good. It is so worth your time, everyone. You can think about it afterwards and have so many questions about the world. It is such a strong world they've built, and it's only 4 episodes deep at this point. And it was strong at 3. It was strong at 2. Vince Gilligan, I don't know if you've heard, hot take, he's good.
How many episodes have they planned to air for the first season?
I don't know. Let me find out.
Apple TV Plus usually does 10, but not always. Yeah. So I'm curious.
I've seen it hover around 10, maybe 9, maybe 11. A cursory search is telling me there are 9 episodes in the first season. So we're almost halfway there.
Well, I hope it's renewed, and I hope we get lots of stories like this for a long time.
I think what's beautiful about this is it's almost never ending. I mean, we could just do understanding this world. How does Carol fix it? What does Carol do to try and fix it? How does the hive mind respond? But there could be a villain at some point. Maybe one of the other individuals decides they like being angry. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier because we can't rehash the whole show unless we're doing episode by episode. Right. But when Carol has angry episodes, like fits of anger, it kills millions of them.
Mm-hmm. So and everyone glitches out. If you don't die, you glitch out, basically.
Yeah, which I think is very manipulative. Like she can't feel things. She can't have an emotional reaction to an emotional situation because she gets to carry the guilt of she's killing these people unbeknownst to herself. I think it's so manipulative and so interesting to think about. I think the hive mind is bad. There is more to it than they're saying. I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist right now, but maybe that's the point. There's so many contradictions in the hive mind. Like they say they're blissful and they're happy all the time, but they stole these people's lives, and there is a lack of human connectivity. Like, remember the scene before Carol has to bury Helen, and she has this quilt, and she wraps her body in the quilt, and she smells the
Yeah.
quilt, and she cries, and she thinks about her. None of them are having those kind of emotionality. No one is sentimental or soft, because they kind of just view humanity as without beginning and without end. And, it's like, what is the point of death? The point of death is because then it forces us to value our life. And it's very complicated. And I love that about the show. And I love that Carol is so complicated.
Do you think because the message came from space, the formula came from space, do you think that we're going to be seeing some space people at some point? Like maybe this is a setup. Maybe this is, let's get everybody in line and then we're going to come back.
That's really exciting, because we think it's one thing and then it turns into being something else. That's what's great, is the possibilities are endless. But didn't they say it came from 600 light years away? So they'd have to have intergalactic space travel really nailed down pat to get there soon enough.
Right.
I'd like to know where this is originating from, because it seems like it's happened many times. And who is doing this? What if the answer is like, what you think of as God is doing this? There's just so many thought experiments that can be woven into the show and are already in the show.
And people are reacting to it already. Like Kojima's tweeted about it, talked about how much he loves it and how he thinks it's Vince Gilligan's take on Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It kind of is. I mean, I think Carol calls them pod people, right? Because it's the face of someone you love. I mean, she gets in a fight with this woman who is individual, but her son is joined. And she was like, your son is not your son anymore, okay? Your son is also your gynecologist. And then she asks him about speculums, and he answers honestly. And it's the mother is like, how dare you? You're disgusting. You're an awful woman. But she's right. You might not like it, but she's right. What made your son is now diluted. How do you feel about that? I feel disgusted. You should feel disgusted. I think Carol was right. She's abrasive. She's a jerk, but she's right.
I see a lot of similarities.
Between who? Who, Jason?
I think that you would survive. I think that you would do great as someone trying to avoid the joining. I think you would kick serious ass.
I've never done heroin, but every day is a new day.
Yeah. Well,
and that is a reference you won't understand unless you watch the show.
Right.
I don't think that I would be one of the ones spared statistically, because it's only 12. I mean, I assume later maybe we'll discover more people are also not part of it, but
well, they can't lie though. So if they can't lie, that may be the only number. But maybe
but they don't know everything.
Right, and maybe some can snap out of it. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if Carol will be able to like snap out like a group of them, like 50 of them. And then people are starting to fight back. Then will someone try to then it does sort of become a zombie thing, because then you've got to keep yourself away from the people trying to kiss you to then bring you back in. It's like a whole thing. So I don't know. You could really do a lot with this show. But
how did they spread it in episode 1 when everybody got hit at once? Was it from the air?
Yeah, they released stuff. They released it into the air. Yeah, and that's how it got everybody.
That won't stop the chemtrail conspiracy theorists.
Definitely not. So if you were to be able to snap people out of it that weren't initially immune, you'd have to maybe either live underground or live in a dome or something so they can't spread it to you.
They kind of covered this because she asked Zosha, like, what about people in space, submarines, wherever? And she was like, oh, yeah, we got to them pretty early on. It's important. Yeah. And I thought, you couldn't have possibly gotten everyone, right? Maybe there's an opportunity for a new character, much like Manusos, but, you know, maybe in a different situation. So we could have the thought experiment of this person in this situation. How would they handle it? Mm-hmm. Well, it's so good.
I can't wait to dig in more. I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, because it's on a cliffhanger. So she kept pressing Zosha, like, is there a way to undo the joining? Is there a way to reverse it? And she was like crying and she couldn't tell her and she went into cardiac arrest. And earlier she wouldn't answer her, but Carol took the non-answer as an answer. I wonder if the answer is yes, but they will die. And I wonder if they die because the hive mind turns on them. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah.
This is a theory show if there was ever a theory show.
They're definitely not human anymore, in my opinion.
No.
At least when they're being controlled. They are whatever. They're the aliens. I know we are not aliens.
Out.
Yeah.
Like they're non-human entities, I would describe them out as, because sure, they're blissed out all the time, but they don't feel all the different things that it is to be human anymore. Humans are disappointed, disappointing, angry, anxious, depressed. We're all these things, but we also have that love that Carol felt for Helen and that feeling of loss and that sentimentality that they sure don't have. So, you know, being in a comfortable numbness in the middle, I'm actually wondered if this was an analogy for antidepressants at some point, but the AI comp also works. There are so many different things that you could compare this to.
Yeah. Bottom line, great show.
Great show.
Both love it.
Gotta watch it. Must watch. I am watching this thing as soon as I can every week it's out. I love it. And I think everyone needs to be watching the show. Join us. Let us kiss you on the mouth and join us in loving this show. We are one. We is us.
I think you just opened us up to a lot of emails now.
Let us kiss you on the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I will not try to kiss any of you on the mouth. Okay. So, there we go. Never. Okay? Even if you ask me to, I won't do it. I don't know how we got to this point in the podcast, but here we are.
You open that door. I'm right here.
I'm just doing a thought experiment, Jason.
Okay.
Which is what the whole show is. Oh, it's such a good show. Check it out. High recommendation. 10 out of 10 for me, even though the season is not done yet.
Yeah.
Near perfect, or perfect, in my opinion. So, Jason, are you going to still be overseas next week?
Yes, I will be back next week, but I have 4 more shows to go on my UK tour. And when this posts, I will be getting ready to play in Wolverhampton tomorrow night, and then Manchester, and then Leicester, and then London.
Lovely. Yeah. What a globetrotter you are. Are you taking Air Force One?
I wish I could. That'd be fun. Maybe I can take the old one once the new one.
Yeah, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah. All right. I didn't know I could, and now, just like Carol,
now you do.
Now I will. Well, all right. Well, I'm about to pass out. So
yeah, I don't know if people have been watching the video, but Jason has been closing his eyes for sustained amounts of time, and when he does this, I try to talk harder to kind of vamp for him. But
thank you. I don't know if this has ever happened on the podcast before, but if it has, I apologize. But yeah, I know when I'm about to go, and I'm about to go. So we should go.
Let's go. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Intro Skippers with Jason Charles Miller and Kim Horcher is produced and edited by Kim Horcher and Jason Charles Miller. The name order doesn't really matter. Additional writing by Kim Horcher. Theme song and incidental music by Jason Charles Miller. Take it away, me. You can rate and review this show. 5 stars only, please, anywhere you'd like, and you might find your review read on a future episode. Got a question? Email us at introskipperspod@gmail.com. That too could be featured on a future episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Intro Skippers on your favorite podcast platform, but preferably one we're actually on. All right, thanks for getting this far. Here's a special treat just for you. I'm gonna stop talking.